QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? This your boy Rashad. I'm back in the building. We got Dave. Shout out to Dave for holding it down last week. What's good? What's good, everybody? What's cracking? What's cracking? Dave, what's good with you, man?
This guy out here taking vacations during the PNP Mania Finals, man. You ought to be ashamed of
Listen,
yourself. I'm appalled.
listen, bro. It was a lot going on last week. Which I'll get into in a second. But yeah, it was a lot going on for me. Dave, before we get into what I was doing, how about you? How was your week last week, and what you got going on right now?
Well, I'm in my new spot, I'm not fully ingrained, but I know you guys check out that background. The background's pretty dope. So I'm in my new spot. Can't complain.
Kudos.
Yeah,
A lot of Joe Bello art back there. I see
a lot of Joe Bello. Shout out to him. And I don't know if I think he did something for Bryce Young already. But Joe, if you're listening,
he did.
Yeah, if you're listening, I need to go ahead and get that off, cause I gotta make some adjustments here. I got one spot left right next to Cameron. Oh yeah, I gotta go get that.
Dave.
I gotta go.
Yeah, you need to cop that.
Yeah, I gotta go get
Shout
that.
out to
Use
my
new
man
address.
Joe, that Punk Panther on Twitter. Fantastic artwork, man. I got just about every damn thing he puts out. Not everything, but just about everything.
I got a lot, but yeah, all
great
this
artist.
other than the A&T Aggies, everything else is all Joe Bello. So shout out to him. Outstanding artist. Outstanding artist. But nah, man, like I'm in my new spot. I came off on some things, and things have turned. I'm still unpacking. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, I know you're laughing because you know.
So what you saying, Dave? Is you definitely about to be on the prowl? Is what you saying? You definitely about.
I'm always gonna be on the prowl, baby. I'm always gonna be on the prowl. Always on the prowl. I'll see what you did.
Funny. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave. It's funny because y'all we be talking before this, so that's why that's funny. But yeah, man, shout out to Dave. Dave up right now. This is. Yo, shout out
and
to
I'm standing
Dave,
up
man.
too. Yo, I'm standing up too. And let me know how the audio is, because this might be a normal thing. We'll see how it goes. But it's been a crazy week. Pretty good weekend, but it pretty much was the weekend of unpacking. I moved into my new spot on Friday. I took some stuff out to unpack stuff. I broke a television, which is unfortunate. But I got another one, so it is what it is. And then Monday, the movers came in with all my stuff, and my living room is now the chaos. Like you can see, I got a couple arcade machines in the back here, but all the rest of them aren't even available to anybody. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a fun time in the land of Dave, and can't complain too much. And I'm looking forward to training camp next week, bro. I'm ready for that. I'm ready.
Yeah, training camp is next.
No,
week,
I ain't sitting down.
Turn it up. Training camp is next week, about to turn it up. But before we get into that, I gotta real quick remind y'all about On the Prowl. Remember, pursue your dreams, radiate positivity, overcome an obstacle, work hard, and love what you do. And I just want to talk about something real quick because my daughters was on the Prowl this last week, which is where I was at. I was on the Prowl because my daughters had their national championships for dance in Myrtle Beach last week, which is where I was. It was a lot going on, which is why I could not get on the stream. The Wi-Fi was trash. The connection was not working the way I wanted, so I didn't want to, hijack the stream by any way, shape, or form. But shout out to my daughters. Both of my daughters are national champions. Shout out to the under 8 group for my youngest. She's 10, but the average average age of the group is under 8. So shout out to them. They national champions. And shout out to my oldest daughter, who her small group is a national champion as well, man. Super shout out to them. It was fire. Had fun. Shout out to the whole ZFL family, man. It was lit. So if any of y'all watching, they now know I do the pod. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to all the homies out there. It was dope. It was dope. Love, support my daughters. And like I said, they was on the prowl, so I had to support them. But man, shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Well, while we talking about on the prowl, man, like with all the change and everything else that's been going on, my daughter been clocking it in too. Like she took her first AP class during the school year this year, and she passed. She got a 4, so she's gonna get some college credit.
Fire.
I think the only folks that won't take the college credit is the Ivy League, because you got to have a 5 for the Ivy League to take it. So shout out to her for getting it in on that as well.
Yeah, man. Nah, that's dope. Again, if you got something you want to share, man, if you got some positive news, drop that in the chat, man. We want to highlight some positivity. A lot of crazy stuff out here. A lot of people being negative all the time. So again, we just want to radiate some positivity. And man, yeah, Shout out to being on the proud, man. That's what's up. All right,
Absolutely.
let's go ahead. It's a lot to talk about. I mean, it's the off season, but it's low key. A lot has happened. So we're gonna get right into it. A couple of things. Let's get it cracking. Uh, Dave D Hop chose to sign with the Tennessee Titans. Dave, what do you think about this? How do you feel as a Carolina Panther fan that he chose the Titans to be his squad?
Didn't he say he wanted to play with an elite quarterback?
Dave D Hop said a lot.
No,
He
no, no,
said a
no, no,
lot.
no, 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 no. Didn't he say he wanted to play with an elite quarterback?
Said a lot. That was a
That was
part of the
one.
conditions. That was one of
That was
them.
part. Do
It
you
was
think the
it was a
Tennessee
lot that
Titans?
he said.
Let me continue with the questioning, sir. Do you
My
think the
bad.
Tennessee
My bad.
Titans have an elite quarterback?
No, that would be an absolute no.
No. They do have
Emphatic.
an elite running game,
Yes, they do.
but they ain't a quarterback. Derrick Henry ain't out here throwing, throwing strikes. But he got some good money for this deal too.
I mean, y'all saying money grab in the chat, but that's not nowhere. Was kind of relatively close to what he wanted, but that's not what he wanted. My man wanted a Odell Beckham deal, which was 18. And Odell got 18, or up to 18 with the sentence for 1 year. D Hop's deal's up to 15 for 2 years. So he didn't quite. I mean, he didn't get a major bag that he was. That's not what I was. I mean, the
Well,
Panthers could have
you
gave him that. I mean, real talk.
you remember when we had the conversation about whether or not D Hop still has it or not? And I said it wasn't about the fact that he didn't have it, but it was about the fact that he would occasionally miss practice. He had some injuries and things of
Yeah,
that sort.
for sure.
That probably was like he probably thought he was gonna get this, and most of the offers that he got was around this. You know what I'm saying? So, Titans might have been the best offer he got. Panthers might not even been willing to pay him what he got from Tennessee.
And you're absolutely right, Dave. That's exactly where I was going with it. Is that yo? I don't think the offers were out there. I don't think he had a lot of people would, like Dave said, wanting to deal with the maybe the injuries or maybe him not being in practice or maybe there was a lot of things that the other teams and I feel like this. I feel like go to your point, Dave. I feel like if the Panthers wanted D Hop, we would have had D Hop.
We could have
Like
got him.
we're a
He
much
had the
better
second most, got the most
situation
cap
than
in the league.
right. And if we wanted him, we could have got him. I don't think that was a thing. I think D Hop had a limited audience, the folks that wanted him, and I think he took the best available offer, which is complete. Which is why I say that these players say whatever they want. They get out here and they get on these podcasts. They say they can demand anything. They can say, "Oh, I want to play with XYZ. I want to do this." But the market is going to tell you what you're going to get. The market is the market, which is going to go into another conversation we'll have later with the running backs. But that's the market. It is what it is. Like that's why I be trying to tell people that just because you're D Hop doesn't mean you're gonna have a market. There's a lot that supposedly comes with you, right? So it it's it is what it is. Like you gotta look at these. That's why I said if we wanted D Hop, we could have got him. People say, we'll never get D Hop. Scoff. We'll never get it. Bro, if we wanted him, we could have got him. And this deal clearly shows that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think folks were worried about the other contracts that was coming down the pike. Shout out to Snowman. Shout out to Austin, bro, for the super chat. We really appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to the bros. Shout out to the men of Phi Beta Sigma. Conclave was over last weekend. Man, I should have been in Houston, bro. I was seeing the pictures. I was getting jealous. I'm going to tell you that right now. I ain't going to front. I ain't going to hold you, though. Shout out to Jess Zoe for the super chat. I would have loved D-Hop in Carolina, but we have a lot of guys to pay soon. That's true, but you can do anything with the cap. You can do anything with the cap. Cap giveth, cap taketh away, but you can do anything with the cap overall. So I'm not too worried about it from that aspect. But I just think.
Oh, never mind. I'm reading this.
No, I just think that we probably could have. We could have went after him, but it's obvious that ain't the path that the team wants to go in. And I think it's obvious that the team is fine with the wide receivers that they have.
Right, which is a great point, Dave. I think that again, there is always going to be a cause and effect, right? The Panthers have chosen to say, you know what, we're gonna chill with to see what we got. Now, here's the opposite into that, right? If we don't have a guy that ends up playing as well as we think they should, TMJ, if he doesn't take that next step, we're pretty confident in Thielen. Thielen is a proven vet, and I think Thielen's going to be fine. A little bit older, but I think Thielen's going to be fine. Chark, what if DJ Chark does not end up being healthy? What if he doesn't live up to his expectation? I mean, we could play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. If it was me, and I always like to say if what I would do in certain scenarios, because I like playing the team building game. If it was me, bro, I'm giving D-Hop that money, and I'm getting my quarterback the best available weapons. I don't care what it comes. I don't care what y'all talking about in the chat. Like, whatever reason you're saying you don't want him, I don't care what you're talking about. You give your quarterback, Bryce Young, the best weapons you can get him, and whatever happens from that happens. Now, I understand what comes with it. I understand that he may or may not be on the field, but if you're so confident in the weapons that you have on the roster, then what's the difference between adding the cherry on the top? You had what you had if he wasn't there, so what's the difference between bringing him on? You know what I mean? So, like, if it was me, I'm bringing him on. I don't care about, and I know that the thing is, we want to see other guys develop. Bro, we have a 4-year window, 5-year window with Bryce's contract. I'm kind of sick of the development, Pete. Like, when are we going to get some homies in here so we can start balling? Like, let's play, bro. Like, I get it, I understand it. I completely understand that mindset of wanting to develop. But, bro, we gonna be sitting here 3 years from now here saying, I want to see the development. I just want to get some guys in here so we can ball from day one. That's just me.
You tired, Rashad? Are you tired of development?
I guess I'm a little sick of the word. I got to be honest with you. I get it. I completely understand, and I'm just maybe it's the impatience in me, for sure. Maybe it's the impatience in me. I'm sick of seeing mediocrity. I want to be able to get some dudes in here, hit the ground running. To be honest, but I get it. I completely get it. I understand sitting back, seeing what you have in DJ Chark, seeing what you have in TMJ. But if it's me, I'm giving it to D-Hop, and I figure it out later. That's just me personally. Pause.
Yeah, I mean,
major pause on that.
Major pause. Major pause. But that being said, I mean, when you start thinking about, like, I agree with you with regards to the 5-year window. And I do agree about the development piece, but the only pushback I'll give you is that if we would have signed D-Hop, what would you have expected out of Mingo?
Who cares? I mean, honestly, like, I get it. Look, bro, I get that. I get the development thing. I get it. Because guess what? Yo, Thielen is not going to be around. Like, Thielen is getting up there, bro. Like, you got to start to figure out what you're going to do. I love Thielen in the short term, but 2-3 years from now, bro, he's on the tail end of his career, bro. We can't rely on him as the number one guy. And right now, he's the number one guy. Even you said it. You said it on your prediction the other day. Thielen's bro, we can't depend on that. So we're waiting on TMJ to develop, which I'm cool with. Let's get it. I'm down. I'm with you. DJ Chark, I get it. I'm down. But what if it doesn't happen? You know what I mean? So, and guys like D-Hop don't become available very often, bro. And when I keep saying this too. Another thing my bad, Dave. I'll let you get in a second. I keep saying this too. Oh, Mike Evans gonna be here next. Mike Evans gonna hit Chris Godwin gonna hit them. Them dudes is not hitting the market, bro. Them dudes is not hitting the market.
One might. You can't tag them both.
True. But I doubt
you can't tag them both.
You can't. But I doubt both of them dudes. I doubt they hit the market next year. I doubt it.
I think it depends. I think it depends on so many factors. He's younger than D-Hop. I can tell you that. But my thing is when you start talking about next year, that's the wrong attitude, right? Like D-Hop. But the thing about going to the Titans for D-Hop, do the Titans have a chance to do some damage this year? Probably. Nobody's really talking about them if you want to keep it a buck. But it's only been 2 years. It's only,
Jags division.
Tannehill's been hurt, bro. I mean, Tannehill did lead them boys to the AFC Championship
I
game
don't
2
care
years
what
ago.
they doing. Jags division, bro. I said what I said.
Okay. We're gonna go over. By the way, we're gonna go over all these divisions, so it's gonna be a fun
Yeah.
conversation when we do it. We are gonna go over
Well, I can tell you what's not going to change. Jags division.
Jags division. All right, man. I'm fascinated because I mean, if you want to talk about the particulars, depending on how bad the Bucks are, neither one of them guys might not be there. They might tag Godwin and let Evans go in free agency, or they might decide to not let them both go with no compensation. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'll say that.
We'll see. But listen. I don't. When it's right, I can't predict what's going to happen. I can't wait to see if Mike Evans hits the market, or if when you have a guy like D-Hop right in front of you, you have to react. And I'm not saying it's a major mistake. I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying if it was me, I would have made that move. Because guess what? I could look foolish when TMJ drops 1,500 yards or something, or DJ Chark 700-800 yards. Like, I could look crazy, and maybe we did need him. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be that shoulda, coulda, woulda game. If it was me, I'm always going to surround my quarterback with the best talent available. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But
you know what team is more furious than you are right now, Rashad?
Who is that?
The Patriots. They're furious. They feel a type of way about the fact that they decided, because he picked them over the Patriots. From what I understand, those were the final two. And he picked the Titans over the Patriots. He picked playing with a potentially rookie quarterback or Ryan Tannehill over Mac Jones.
Isn't Tennessee where wide receivers go to die?
They do. Nah, Chicago is, but you know how I feel about that. Tennessee is where wide receivers go to retire. Tennessee is where wide receivers go to retire. In Chicago, that's where wide receivers go to die. So let's make sure we get it clear.
I saw a picture. What was it? Andre
Oh,
Johnson,
God. Randy Moss, Julio Jones, Andre Johnson.
Jones. Yeah,
bro. That's where they go to retire.
I was like, hey, yo, wow, look at these dudes, man.
And remind me how old DeAndre Hopkins is? 33, right? 33? 33. So, he's 33, right?
I don't care.
But my point is, he's right on schedule.
31.
He on that Titans train. 31? He's just 31?
He's 30. He's 31 and still a top 10 wide receiver. I don't care what y'all talking about.
That ain't bad.
Easily top 10.
All right. We're gonna find out if he breaks the curse. I know Andre Johnson couldn't break that curse. Randy Moss, I'll give him some grace. Julio Jones definitely did not break that curse. But it's going to be fascinating to see how. Well, I mean, he's been on run for his offenses before, so it'll be good to see how he does over there. I'm curious.
D-Hop is going to be fine, bro. He's going to be in a good situation now. Team success, completely different scenario, completely different discussion. But D-Hop, if it was from them two choices, I would have picked the Titans too, because the good run game. Bill Belichick on the hot seat, is he not? I saw that on Twitter. That Bill Belichick.
Let me explain something to y'all.
Hey, I'm just telling y'all what I saw on Twitter.
Let me. This is for all you tweeters out there in the Twitter land. Bill Belichick has won enough Super Bowls where he could never be on the hot seat. He gonna leave when he wants to leave.
Everybody's got an expiration date, bro. Anybody can get.
Yeah,
fired.
And you know who's gonna pick it? Him. Bill. He already got his. They already got the coaching waiting on the staff, bro. He's gonna pick it.
We'll see, but
right.
I would have picked. I'm with D-Hop. I'm picking Titans. If those two were the choices, I'm picking the Titans. But anyway, let's move on. D-Hop, no D-Hop for the Panthers, unfortunately. All right, let's move on. Dave, did you watch the quarterback series or some of it? Any of it? You didn't watch it?
I've been packing, bro.
You bugging it. So I haven't finished it. I'm on like episode 5. But this quarterback series is fantastic. If you get a chance to watch it on Netflix, it's super dope. It's going to the ins and outs of being a quarterback for Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota, and Kirk Cousins. Really, really good commentary. It's actually really good. It's really
but
good.
it's the gang of characters for me. You got
it's perfect though. But it's perfect. It's a perfect. It gives you the best quarterback in the league right now. It gives you a dude that's been around the league in Mariota, and it gives you Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins is pretty solid. You know what I mean? Like Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback, and there's a
Cousins,
lot of it. Oh, go ahead.
Kirk Cousins is the type of quarterback where if you need a quarterback and you have Kirk Cousins, you'll just say, "I'll just stick to Kirk Cousins." That's what Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
is.
Kirk
Yeah.
is nice. I mean, he's cool. Like I think some of the biggest takeaways for me, and I haven't finished it yet, so don't kill me if I miss something. And y'all are free to share y'all thoughts as well in the chat. But one of the biggest takeaways for me, bro, was the freedom in that Chief system. It was really dope to watch Patrick Mahomes and them dudes come up with plays and be able to freely come up and draw up plays and Andy Reid kind of give that check box. It's super. It was cool to watch. And them name it, like it was dope. That was dope to watch. It's something that's kind of one of those behind the scenes things you don't really get a chance to see. You kind of maybe hear of guys doing that, making plays up, but to see him watch and go through the process and see how involved he is in actually creating an offense was super dope. I mean, that was dope. Biggest takeaway with Kirk Cousins, bro. And look, shout out to Cash because I think this series kind of made me a fan of Kirk as well. Now, one thing with Kirk though, we got to get this man a Carmex deal. My man lips was chapped up bad, bro. Like, bro, so nobody was when they was filming this joint would say, "Yo, hey, Kirk, bro, we got to give you some Carmex, some Burt's Bees, or some Vaseline, something. You got to put something on your lips, bro, because you out here looking real crusty." Nobody told him. Nobody told him that.
Nobody gave him the memo.
Nobody gave him the memo, bro. But Kirk Cousins, man, shout out to Kirk. Gained a new respect for Kirk. One thing I took away with Kirk, and I think this is the episode I just finished up, was that Kirk definitely gets a chance to take Tuesdays off. Like he completely disconnects from football, takes Tuesdays completely off, and chills with his wife, answers fan mail. Like he was returning fan mail, signing cards. Like that's dope, man. He was going to like a bookstore, just chilling. Nobody's really messing with him. Yo, that was kind of dope, man. I really thought that was fire. That was fire. So Mariota, they got into Mariota stepping away from the team. How he just had a baby and he chose to get a surgery. And, Arthur Smith walking away from him, and there was some confusion on what the story was behind, him getting them moving on from him and going with Ritter. But yeah, man. So it was dope. It was dope, man. It was dope. I thought it's a really good, and I'm not finished yet. But it's really cool to see the behind the scenes stuff with Patrick Mahomes and his wife and kind of going back in their history, how they went to, I think, high school together, which is crazy. I didn't know that. Mariota, and how met his wife. It's dope, man. And I did hear they got picked up for season 2. So that's pretty dope. So if there was a season 2, who would y'all want to see on season 2?
It would be 3 new quarterbacks. I would do Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Because you want to have like a high elite level quarterback. So I would do Josh Allen. For the younger guy, I would probably do. I would love for them to do a rookie.
Yeah,
maybe like an Anthony Richardson. But I don't think they're gonna do that.
It's too much.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
They kind of trying to get their life together.
Based on what you just, I haven't watched Beach.
You need a journeyman. You need a journeyman.
Yeah. So, God.
Oh, they say they're doing a different position.
Oh.
If they're doing a different position, bro, then they need to do running backs. Cause they need to do running backs, man. Yo, they need to do running backs, dog.
They need to do Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, and Christian McCaffrey. Those should be the 3. Those would be the 3.
Sam Darnold would be interesting. Sam
Darnold would be interesting.
Allen Mayfield and a rookie, that would be interesting. Lamar Herbert and Jared Goff, that would also be interesting.
I would put Goff as the veteran. But Goff would be like Allen, Goff, and maybe Watson would be interesting. Watson would bring the ratings, bro.
Derek Carr would be interesting too.
Yeah, Derek would be interesting with the Saints. Yep, Tua maybe.
Gino would be interesting to listen to. He's got a really good story he could share.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gino would be dope. Gino would be really dope.
Considering that his career was pretty much over, and he pretty much built that joint back up to the point where he got a bag, Gino would be dope to see.
Josh Allen,
That'd be a good one.
Prescott, and Geno. It's
That
not
would be
too
a good one.
bad.
That'd be a good one.
That's not too bad. But yeah, man, I think it's a really good series. I gotta finish it up before I completely give spoiler alert if you have my bad. I didn't say spoiler. I mean, I don't think it's something to really spoil. You kind of know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's not one of
Yeah,
those
like
things you can really
it's kind of like
spoil, but
watching the. It's kind of like watching All Nut for Carolina. You knew what happened that year. You knew. Same
but
thing.
yeah, same thing. But yeah, it's a really good series. Anything else Andy Dalton would be interesting. Andy
Dalton
Dalton
would
would
be
be
interesting
very interesting.
since he's the
Anything else
Hall of
that I
Fame
missed?
quarterback.
Anything that I missed that y'all want to talk about regarding the series? I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty good series. I'm trying
Somebody
to
said if
cram it
there's a
in.
coaching section,
Pause.
they should have Matt Rule. Nah, I'm good.
Nah, B, we
I'm
good.
good.
We good on
We
that.
good.
We good on that. All right. If nothing else on the series, then we'll keep it moving. But again, Dave, you got some time, some
Oh, I'm
downtime.
gonna watch it. Like
Watch it.
I don't even have internet yet, bro. So shout out to the hotspot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
that's tough. That's tough.
Bruh.
From the
Bruh.
hotspot.
Long story. I ain't gonna get into it here. Maybe if once we do a PNP confidential, I'll tell the Patreons about it. But yeah. What we got up next, man?
Yeah. But all right, let's
Next
move
up on
on.
the?
Let's move on. All right, Dave, here we go. So the running back strike is on. All right. So the franchise tag deadline has passed, right? For you, in order for you to reach a long term deal, the deadline is passed. And you can still reach a deal, but basically none of the running backs got paid. So Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, all these guys were looking for long term deals, and they did not get a long term deal. Okay, so what does that mean? The running backs, all of those guys are pissed because basically nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting a long term deal, and now essentially the running backs, and as of a few hours ago, there's a report out there that veteran running backs have been communicating via group text to come up with ways to improve their financial prospects. As of Monday, the plan of action was to complain about the situation on social media, which some of them did, and all of them are complaining on social media. So, Dave, let's unpack this. Let's unpack this because I feel like everybody on Twitter is going nuts, right? There's all kind of people trying to poke holes in different arguments and if it doesn't apply to the quarterbacks, Brock Purdy's you can say Brock Purdy and blah blah. Brock Purdy is just as replace. You can replace a quarterback like that too. So everybody, let's unpack this. But Dave, I want your thoughts on the running back position and kind of how you feel about them and their lack of payday.
I'm trying to be as gentle as I can when I say this, but I don't think there's a way to say this. Somebody said it in the chat too. Took the words right out of my mouth. The position is disposable. 4 years is the average that they stay in the league. So a lot of times that position doesn't get the big dollars. If you look at the last 10 to 15 Super Bowl champions and look at the starting running backs, most of those guys' salaries weren't that high. So it's already the data shows that it doesn't. You don't need to be dropping a bag on these guys to get the production that you need. Will you get a Christian McCaffrey? No, but a Christian McCaffrey ain't won a Super Bowl yet. Christian McCaffrey still has a losing record when he plays, even with the San Francisco season.
What do you say to those that say CMC elevated the 49ers so that therefore he's worth that money?
I would say that the 49ers almost went to the Super Bowl the year before CMC showed up with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Like, did he elevate him? Yes. What was the result? The same as before. They lost in the championship game. Now let's keep it a buck, guys. Like, let's not get with the granularities and the silliness of it all. Could you have an argument of, San Fran looked like they were on the ropes? Okay. But they were getting production from other folks too. Debo got a little bit of a rest period, right? They didn't have to use Debo like they had to use him the year before. So now they have CMC, sure. But my point is, that's more on Kyle Shanahan, the way he runs his offense, than anything else.
Exactly.
You just so happen to have a CMC.
Exactly. And I think that is what people are not. They're looking at these situations in isolation, and or they're not. They're taking a broad stroke and saying, "Oh, let's paint this across every situation." The reality is each situation is completely different, right? No, Kyle Shanahan's don't exist on every team. And I think the 49ers, to be honest, they played the situation exactly how you should play a running back situation. They waited for a team like Carolina to make that mistake of paying him. Basically, the deal was $16 million per year, which is what we paid him. They're only paying him $12 million per year, which is a bit more. It's easier to swallow. It's still high, but it's easier to easier to swallow than 16. You know what I mean? Super pause, major pause on that.
Major.
But yeah, so like I think that each situation is completely different, right? You can't. If I'm the Giants, bro, I feel like the Giants should they pay Saquon? Saquon, he did some damage this year. He did.
Bro, I mean, but you knew what the line was going to be when they made the decision to pay Daniel Jones.
Right.
I knew then Saquon was going to get his money from New York. That was it. As soon as they made the decision to give Daniel Jones $45 a year, Saquon, bro, they think they can replace you. And I hope. And the thing is, man, I understand the frustration of the position of the players.
Completely
in the position.
understand.
I completely get it.
That point needs to be stated. I completely get their frustration and why they're like that. My bad, Dave. I cut you off.
No, you good. No, it's just I completely understand their situation. I completely understand their frustration with regards to this because y'all are getting the short end of the stick. There's no doubt about it. But some people are saying, well, is it because CMC crushed the market? Actually, I wouldn't blame CMC because that's not fair to CMC. Anybody that got an offer like that was going to take that deal. That ain't on CMC. That's on Carolina deciding to pay him that much.
Yep. And now teams are reacting to that. Teams are saying, nah, we not. The market is resetting, and like Dave said earlier, there's too many instances of guys, or it may have been said in the chat, but there's too many instances of guys not finishing. They're getting paid, and they're either getting injured or they're being moved on from their contract. Like, look, you can go. It goes back to like Todd Gurley and them. Todd Gurley didn't finish his contract. Zeke didn't finish his contract. CMC didn't finish his contract. It's like two dudes that's between
let's keep it a
Kamara and Derrick Henry, the only two dudes still on their contracts. Everybody else is either moved, they're on another team, or the teams have moved on.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's not even talk about the rest of the NFL because we don't need to do that. Let's just talk about us.
Right.
Historically, in this franchise, we have had a habit of paying these running backs. At one point in this franchise, and it was a PNP Mania Trivia question, we had two of the highest paid running backs on the roster at the same time. At one point, one of our running backs was the second highest paid, and the other one was the sixth highest paid in the NFL. That 2009 season when they both ran for 1,100 yards, did we make the playoffs, Rashad? Remind me.
Probably not.
No, we didn't. So, do we make the playoffs with them? Sure. How far do we go? We didn't go that far. So it ultimately boils down to that ain't the position that you need to pay. The position you need to pay is the trenches. The position you need to pay is there. Because then you can put anybody there. For those who weren't born during the Mike Shanahan days of the Denver Broncos, that dude spit out 1,000-yard rusher, and it didn't matter who it was. Alandis Gary, whoever it was, just random running backs. They would run for 1,000 yards behind with the Broncos. Why? Because of the scheme of that offensive line. So
yeah, no, Dave is absolutely right. I think when you talk about paying a Saquon Barkley, what do you want? 12, 13, 14, 15 million, something like that per year, bro. What position are you taking from, right? What does their offensive line look like? Which is why it didn't make sense for Carolina to play Christian McCaffrey back then. Bro, we had nobody's on the offensive line. You paying him $16 million. We didn't have a quarterback. We have an offensive line, but we had the greatest running back of all time in your eyes. It didn't make sense. So the timing when you pay these running backs, I believe there is a space, I think there is a time and place to pay a running back. And I think that for what Carolina did, even with Miles Sanders, bro, truth be told, Dave, you talked about us paying running backs in the past. Hold on, truth be told, Dave, Miles was the highest paid running back this year. He was the highest paid running back from a contract standpoint. You know what I mean? So we still paying running back, but I think we did it right. Miles Sanders is a good running back. So there's a time and place to pay running backs, but I just don't think that there's too much evidence that you don't have to break the bank for a running back to win. And the objective is to win a Super Bowl. It's not to make the playoffs. It's not to just it's to win a Super Bowl. And like Dave said earlier, teams are just not doing. They're not investing. They're better. They're better everywhere else. They're better in the trenches. They're better skill positions. They're better quarterback. They're better defenses. They're just better. So there's no need for me to stand back and pay a running back. It's just the way it's been done. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is.
And on top of that, the position gets hit a lot, guys. So it is a healthy thing too. Yeah. Yes, there's no question that Saquon balled last year. Not denying it one bit. But he's had some injury problems. You know it, and I know it. We all know that Saquon has some injury problems.
Right, and that's what's crazy. It's like y'all want these teams to commit 4 or 5 years to guys that haven't been healthy. Like they haven't been healthy. Like you can't commit that much money to dudes that just haven't shown you the propensity. Not on a contract year, right? It changes completely different when it's the year before a contract year. The year you're playing for your contract, you're gonna sacrifice your body a little bit more. Once you get paid, then what happens, Dave? Hey, what happened with
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna chill with that. But y'all know what happened.
Let's be real about it though. We paid Christian McCaffrey that money. He had a losing record when he played for us after he got his shot contract. You can talk about the quarterback problems. You can talk about whatever the hell you want. But the reason why we ain't have a good offensive line, the reason why we ain't have a good quarterback, because we are here playing Christian McCaffrey, that being the highest paid running back in the league. And the fact that we never fixed the real core of the issue, which was the offensive line. So we out here getting my man hurt, and he getting hurt. And then why would he try to come? Why would he try to rush back? He got his money. Do you blame him? I don't.
Yeah, I just think the running backs are in a tough situation because guess what? If they strike or they say, hey, if Saquon says I ain't coming back, guess what happens? If that next man steps up, you completely prove their point as to why they're not paying you. So it's a double-edged sword. If you go out there and them running backs stick together, the problem with the running backs is there's so many of them, and you could just pick one off the street. And if the dude starts balling, you completely prove the point as to why they're not going to pay you. So it's a double. They are playing a very, very risky game by not if they decide to strike. It is a very, very risky game.
If you decide to strike, you gotta band it together. And the thing is, what I've learned when it comes to things like this, all you need is a couple of deflectors, bro. Like you gotta band together. But then you think about Dante Foreman. Dante Foreman balled for us last year, right?
He did.
Did not get much in Chicago when he went. So the market is what the market is. And I got a question for you, Rashad, because I'm curious, because Bijan Robinson got drafted in the first round, very high.
You segue king right now. I was about to dive right into that. Go ahead.
So he got drafted, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be clear. I didn't have a problem with him getting drafted as high as he did. I think Atlanta needed other things, but I didn't have a problem with his draft position. I think he's special. But the question becomes, after his draft contract, is he going to get the 5th year? Maybe.
Probably
not.
Probably not. And see, because guess what, Dave? He's already Bijan Robinson. Here's the problem with drafting running backs in the first round. The problem with drafting, and this is the problem. This is the global problem with running backs right now. The problem is with running backs is that you draft one in the first round. Bijan Robinson is already making more money than half the running backs in the league. He ain't played a snap yet. He's playing at near the top end of the running back pay scale. That the salary cap, the rookie cap or the rookie pay scale has really done damage to the running back position. Because guess what? When they're putting in the most of their work, bro, they're getting paid the least. So when they go get their deal, bro, they can't maximize on it because they already got paid the bulk of what they're going to get paid. They need to restructure that rookie contract deal for the running backs. They got to go back to the collective bargaining agreement and figure out how the running backs can get their bulk of their money within the first 4 years of their career. Because guess what? After that, it's a wrap.
I'll argue that he might get his 5th year. You want to know why? By the time the 5th year happens, the running back average is going to be so much lower. So it might be worth doing it at that point, especially if he's still playing really well. So I could see him potentially still getting the 5th year if he's playing really well, because it's not going to cost him as much as it did at the beginning. It ain't going to be like it is now. Like if you do a 5th year option for running back now, you got to deal with Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. Like you're dealing with those averages. But in 4 or 5 years, that might not be the case anymore, and that's what the NFL is doing. They're suffocating the payments for the running back. Miles Sanders might end up being one of the highest paid. He's already one of the highest paid. He might end up being the highest paid running back.
Yeah, he's up there. Years. He's already up there. He's already one of
the
the
highest paid. So that's my point. So if that
the crazy part with his contract is, Dave, he like a top 10 paid. I think he's top 5 or top 6 right now. I know he's in the top 10 for sure.
So the thing is, by the time those 4 or 5 years hit for Bijan, Miles Sanders might be near the top of that list, which is wild to think about. But that could be the case. So that means the average drop, even though Miles making decent money, but he ain't making the level of like McCaffrey or Henry or some of these other guys.
Yeah, Miles is making $6 million a year. He's number 7. It's like that's about half of what the number 6 person is making. Nick Chubb is making $12.2 million a year, and Miles comes in at 7, making half of that. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you got Gibbs. Jamar Gibbs is the 13th highest paid running back in the league right now, and ain't played a snap, which is crazy. But that's the reality, is that those guys, they ain't played a snap, but you take them in the first round, they're already making the maximum of what they're. I mean, it's a really weird scenario. When you look at, I ran the numbers for like the playoff teams, and I kind of tried to see how the playoff teams were structured, where they were taken. The average draft position for a running back in the for a playoff caliber running back a running back on a playoff team, let me say it that way, was second round, right? Their second round pick is typically where it was a lot of thirds, maybe a 7th, a couple of undrafted guys. There was a couple of guys in the first round, but for the most part, it averaged out to about the second round, which is about right. If it's me and I'm drafting and I'm building a team, I would take a running back in the second round, no problem. That's where I wanted to take Bijan. That's where I wanted to take Jamar Gibbs. If they were there, that's where I would have taken it. If you look at the average salary, if you average out the salary for all of the running backs on playoff caliber teams, $4.4 million.
Less than
4.4 million.
Sanders. Less than Miles Sanders.
It's a little less than Miles Sanders. But again,
and I think we got a good contract with him.
I think it's a great I like Miles Sanders' deal. I have and y'all know me, I will pick apart a deal if I have a problem with it. I have no problem with Miles Sanders' deal. I like how much we paid him. And again, that's why I think, Dave, there is a time and a place to pay a running back. I don't think you go out there and draft a running back in the first round. That's not something I would do, right? But at the same time, I would also wait for some of those contracts to expire. Somebody can go out and probably get a Josh Jacobs right now for a little bit cheaper because he just wants to get the hell away from Vegas. You can go get you a look at Dalvin Cook. You can go out and get a Dalvin Cook for a discount if you just wait it out. Like there's a time and place to pay a running back. I think if you're patient, like the 49ers were, like the Panthers were, you could land a pretty solid deal on a quarterback, on running back, excuse me, and get some really a really talented player. You just got to be patient.
And here's the thing, man. I remember when the news broke, or the speculations was starting about McCaffrey getting traded to San Francisco, and the first thing I looked at was the number of free agents in the running back position. And I said, we got to do this. We have to trade him now. If somebody wants him, we have to get the value out of him now, because odds were really high that we're going to cut him and get nothing after the season. So we needed to do something now, and luckily we were able to do it.
Yeah, so this is a shot to Jay Issue. He says, so what are your thoughts on Joe Mixon deal? I think Joe Mixon just took a pay cut.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon just took a pay cut to stay with Cincinnati because, listen, that's just the reality, bro. You could tell dudes that got smart people around him, guys like Miles Sanders who went and got that bag, right? I'm sure Miles might be on the group text, but he got some money. You know what I mean? Guys like Joe Mixon taking a small pay cut to stay where you at. I probably wouldn't. Listen, if I'm paying her, if right now, I probably wouldn't pay a running back max contract. I'm willing to pay a running back right now is probably $12 million, and that's what CMC is making. I'm not going no higher than that. And you got to be, bro. You got to be. I mean, top five. I'm talking about Derrick Henry, CMC, Josh Jacobs. You got to be at the top of your game for you to get that. And I don't think the Panthers right now are in that scenario to do that. We got Miles Sanders, who I think is serviceable. But if it's me, I'm not for what? I'm taking that money and shifting it elsewhere.
I don't think nobody in the league is willing to do that anymore. And that's the dilemma that the running back's going to have. So if they're serious and they're going to be about it, man, they're definitely going to have to band together to get this fixed. Because all the other skill positions are getting their bag. The wide receivers are getting the bag. They're getting the bag.
Yo, anything that impacts the quarterback directly, you're going to get it. The wide receivers, offensive linemen, they're getting paid, bro. And that's why, and again.
Running backs with hands typically do too.
It helps.
If you just a running back, so like Barkley, he's got a legitimate beef. But Derrick Henry, I love you, dog, but you ain't got the hands. That's going to be a factor. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor you're trying to get another bag.
Even like edge rushers, bro. All those dudes, man, there's premium positions we got to pay. Running back ain't it, bro. It's just it's not, and that's not to diminish what a running back brings to the game. They are very valuable. The problem is that there's so many of them, and once one goes down, bro, look at Foreman, bro. We did not skip bro. As much as y'all love and hit the pounder table for Christian McCaffrey, we did not miss a damn beat when we got Foreman in here.
We won more games.
And started rotating. We won more games. Like, come on, man. If that, I get it, y'all. Some of y'all love running backs, and I get it.
Y'all want a stat? I'm gonna give y'all a stat. Give us
a stat, Dave.
Donta Foreman won more games as a starter than CMC did in the season.
Run, Dave. Run. I mean, it's just, and listen, there's so many factors, right? Coaching, all that stuff matters, bro. There's a lot of factors. I don't want to sit here and single out running backs, but there's a lot of layers to this. In Carolina's particular instance, paying CMC was not the right move at the time. It just wasn't. We had so much other shit to fix, and it just was not the right time. So, I mean, good luck to all the running backs. Thoughts and prayers to y'all, because it's gonna y'all got to uphill battle, bro.
I think they're gonna, if they band together, I think it can gain some traction. I just don't think they're gonna get all the money they think they're gonna get, and they're gonna have to get media backing. And I have a feel, typically when it comes down to money, the media typically does not back up the players. So you're gonna have to do this in a different way. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Whenever there's a disagreement when it's the players versus the owners, the media tends to side with the owners, not the players. Just keep that in mind. But I digress. Let's move on.
Yeah. So I think, and again, the market is the market. It's no different from in real life. If you want to apply this to real life scenario, bro, teachers should get paid more than they do, but they don't. The
They
market
sure
is just the
don't.
market. It's really nothing you can really do about it, unless these guys, they put their foot down. Now the problem is double-edged sword. You put your foot down, and another man takes your spot because guess what? There's some hungry dudes that's not in that group chat that's not in your little veteran group chat that be willing to pull your spot and they'll fight for that joint. So, and if they successfully do it, you in trouble because you basically proved their point. So it is what it is. They gotta figure it out. I hope they figure it out, man. I hope they figure it out. But it's only select few running backs I'm willing to pay heavy money, and that's upper echelon, bro. Henry's,
Jacobs is one
those
of them,
type
by the way. I would pay Jacobs.
yeah, I agree. I like Josh. I like Josh a lot. But given the scenario that the Raiders are in, I just don't. I can see why they kind of chilling too. I see it both. I can look at both. I see it from both scenarios. From
Yep.
any team you can any team you pull up, Vikings, uh, whether it be the Giants. I could see both sides of the coin. It's just it is what there's no real answer to it because every scenario is different. We can't pull up a Pacheco and say, oh, look at Pacheco, bro. Pacheco is playing with the greatest, one of the probably going to end up being the greatest quarterback of all time. Like
Yep.
that's different. But Mahomes don't grow on trees, bro. For that easy, everybody pick up a Mahomes and pick up a 7th round running back. Every
But it ain't
situation is
just
different.
Mahomes.
We need to
But
we
bruh,
need to stop.
it ain't just
I'm just saying.
Mahomes.
But I'm just saying, every situation is different, bro. That's all I'm saying. We can't paint a broad stroke. This shit, it's all different. It's
Yep.
all
I'm with
completely
you.
different. That's
I'm
all
with
I'm
you there.
saying. I just don't like to see the Twitter spats between everybody trying to pull these little talking points, and it's all irrelevant, bro. Every situation is different. Every situation is different.
But they're bored too. It's July.
But
There's that part too.
it's true. It's true. It's true. All right. My fault. I went on a tangent there. Anything else on the running backs? We could talk about Mike Davis. I see Mike Davis stuff in the chat. I did see his Instagram story. I really don't care. I don't know why there's such. I don't know why
I have
Panthers
no
fans
idea
are
what you're
tripping
talking
out.
about, and I'm gonna be honest
Mike,
with you, bro. I don't want to know about it.
yo,
I don't want to know about it. Let's move on.
no, I gotta tell you because they
Oh
didn't blew it up in
God,
the chat. So Mike Davis, you remember Mike Davis, right?
I know who he is.
Former Panthers running back, former Falcons running back. He
Yep.
posted on his chat a Panthers helmet saying, "I'm training." So all Panthers Twitter goes up in arms. Oh, we're gonna get another running back. Mike Davis wants to come back, and I'm like, bro, It's Mike
I don't
Davis. I
want
could
him.
care less, bro. Give me Cam Peoples, bro. I don't care about, bro. I want to see some. Mike Davis is cool, but bro, I'm good, bro. I'm cool.
Davis didn't do anything to me. It's just the market's the market. We got running backs.
We
We
got,
drafted Miles
yeah,
Sanders. No, I mean we picked up Miles Sanders.
I'm
We
about to say we
drafted
ain't draft
Chuba.
Miles Sanders. We picked him up.
No, we ain't drafted no Miles Sanders. I got that wrong. We picked up Miles Sanders and we drafted Chuba not too long ago. We're good.
And we have Blackshear and we have
We
Cam
got
Peoples
Blackshear.
undrafted
We
free agent.
good.
We good. We good, man. We good. Why are we worried about Mike? Why is Mike Davis even a
Mike,
thing, bro?
Mike,
Like I don't
Mike. You know,
understand.
no. I'm gonna tell you. Here's my thing, Mike. Here you go, Mike. Michael.
Jones.
I don't know what your Mike. What Mr. Davis. You shouldn't have left in the first place. Maybe you should have stuck around. But you know
He got
what?
that bag from Atlanta, I think.
He got that bag from Atlanta, so you can't be mad at him. He got his bag. The market's done. You know what I'm saying? This their real estate crash of 2008, 2009. What more can I say? What more can I say to you? There you go.
Yeah.
Mike Davis. Move on. Let's go. Like let's
All
the
right,
next
move.
topic.
Oops, my fault. Went backwards. My
No, you
bad.
good. You good.
All right. Remember, you catch us on Rumble if you get tired of YouTube. Just throwing that out there. Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Shout out to all the MVPs. My man Austin Pick, he selected the Hall of Honor game. So that game, which is I believe
gone.
is the Texans game, I believe is gone. So when we see Julius Peppers and Musim Muhammad enshrined in Panthers Hall of Honor, that game is now gone. So We will continue to do these giveaways. Stay tuned. We have more giveaways coming. I should have a lot more stuff to give away come training camp. We get some autographs at training camp. So I'll be doing some giveaways during training camp. So make sure y'all stay tuned because I'll be doing more giveaways. MVP is gonna get theirs first, and then we'll kind of trickle down to the other Patreon members later. All right, so shout out to the MVPs, man. Shout out to our franchise folks, and shout out to our free agents, man. We really appreciate y'all support. Without y'all, we'd be nothing. So we greatly appreciate our Patreon support. All right, keeping it moving. Dave, Underdog Fantasy. I can't hear you,
Basically,
Dave.
got this new thing, and I talked about it previously.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring it up one more time. No, it's the internet. I'm probably running out of data at this point. So, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use the code PNP when you get there. When you sign up, they have this thing now called Weekly Winners. You do a best ball draft. You can get paid every single week in the best ball draft, which is really awesome. And they still have Best Ball Mania, so check that out as well. Baseball's back. We're past the All-Star break. Check out baseball. They do MMA. They do anything. They do esports. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and use the code PNP when you do. And they're still doing a $100 sign up. Thanks.
Shout out to Underdog, man. Great partner of ours. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, Dave. So Joe Person wrote some articles, wrote an article on talking about some training camp primer stuff. There's a couple topics I want to talk about. Cade Mays being the starting right guard is one of them. Dave, in the absence of Austin Corbett, how do you feel about this?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody been talking about development for everything else, but for this, I love it. Because he can do it. And he's a dog. And he can play every position on the line, too. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, man. I like Cade. And again, I love to see our guys develop. There we go, that develop word, right? I think the thing with him is we got to see him in action last year. And he played fullback and some of those goal line situations. And this is what we wanted to see with Cade. Like, if there was an injury, can you step in? Can you play? And what do we have, Dave? Offensive line depth is something I've been pounding the table for years. And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. This guy being a 6th-round pick last year, he's coming in, going to play. He's going to start at right guard in the absence of Austin Corbett while he is on the mend. We already know Austin Corbett's going to miss a couple of weeks. And I love this. I hopefully we won't miss a beat, right? That's the whole point in drafting these guys and to develop them is that we won't miss a beat. So I love this. I absolutely love this. And shout out to Cade Mays, man.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love it, man. Cause I like Cade. I love the pick when we drafted him too. So
yeah,
love it.
I watched this film. I remember watching this film out of Tennessee, man. I was loving this dude, man. He plays center, plays guard, like Dave said, plays tackle, plays all across the line. Really good swing guy. Gonna fit wherever you need a guy. He can play that position. And yeah, love Cade, man. Cade Mays, excuse me. All right, moving on. Dave, let me see. All right, Golden Corral, Dave. Looks like, Joe Person said Matt Corral is going to get the bulk of the preseason snaps. He's going to do him a favor. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is pretty big time. What do you think? What do you think about Matt Corral getting these preseason snaps?
They're trying to trade him.
Think so?
They're trying to trade him to get something back. He's already taken himself off the team. They're trying to get something back. 6th-round pick, 7th-round pick, anything. They're trying to trade him.
Hey, the rookie deal is valuable. The rookie deal, being on that rookie deal is valuable. You get a solid backup. Hey, I agree actually too. I completely agree that they're trying to give him some reps, get him some shine, make him look good. Then kind of
if he balls, he won't be on the roster.
Facts.
He'll be out of here. They'll keep him just because. But they're not going to give him away for nothing. They're going to try to trade him.
What's this? ASMR, whatever that is. ASMR.
I don't know what that is. I just know they're trying to trade him. They're going to trade him, man.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it is, though, man. Yeah, I think Matt Corral, if he balls, Hey, he has nowhere to go but up because he was awful last no fault of his own. Again, we talked about how he had a lack of reps in training camp. It wasn't his fault. Rule did not do him any favors. So hopefully he gets his opportunity now.
Should have never drafted him, bro. I'll stand by that. Should have never drafted him. Should have never drafted him. And it's just and it's not because let me be clear. It's not because I don't think the kid's talented, because I think he does have potential. It's the fact that you draft a quarterback knowing that this coach was about to be out of here. Should have never drafted him. And why don't y'all like me whispering, man? I'm just letting y'all know that they're trying to trade him.
It's ASMR Dave.
Just trying to trade him.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. That's all that needs to be said there. I think they're setting him up for trade, get some value back. We got Andy Dalton, we've got Bryce Young, and we're good. That's pretty much it. All right, Dave. This is the final topic, but we could kind of spend some time on this next topic because I think I saw you posting about this on Twitter. But Dave, Luke Kuechly is going to be eligible. Luke. He's going to be eligible for Hall of Fame in 2025. Dave, what do you think? Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. 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 I ain't got to whisper that. He's first ballot. They should go in there for like 10 minutes and walk out. As soon as they name their name, Luke Kuechly only played 7 seasons. Who cares? Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl appearance, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's in. Average 100 tackles in every season that he played in. He's in. What are we discussing here?
So what do you say to those that say, well, Patrick Willis had the same stats and he didn't get in his first go?
But he should have. Y'all can decide why, and that's what I tweeted.
He's been waiting 4 years, Dave.
So what? He should be in. He should have been first ballot. And look, man, look. He should have been first ballot. And listen, and I ain't got to be crazy about it. I think y'all can put 2 and 2 together. But I promise you, when 2025 comes around, Luke Kuechly's going to be first ballot. He's not going to be waiting. Y'all can decide why later, but I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be waiting. It shouldn't be like this, but it's the reality of the fact. He ain't going to be waiting. He will be in that class of 2025, and I might have to make a trip to Canton.
I'm definitely going. I'm going 2024 when Julius Peppers is in that thing too.
I should probably try to plan a trip for that too.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely going.
And Slim does have a good point. Slim does have a good point. He never was defensive player. Willis was never defensive player of the year.
Bingo. And that's a great point. So I found this calculator. Somebody if you go to futurefootballlegends.com, they put together this calculator that basically
I want to respond to this.
Go ahead.
No. You can do this, but I want to make sure we know that I'm going to respond to this. Go ahead.
Continue. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Bruh, the wide receiver position historically is one of the hardest positions to get in as the Hall of Famer compared to linebacker. You can't. It's apples and oranges. So when you have somebody like a T.O. that's not first ballot, considering what he did, he was like top 3 in like a lot of statistical categories. And he's not first ballot, but Megatron is. And that's not to deny how good Megatron was, because he was great. He's one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen in my life. But he didn't play long enough. There's wide receivers that had longer careers, had better numbers, that did not get in first ballot. And I'm not just trying to say that to be a prick. I'm just trying to keep it a buck with you. When it comes to the wide receiver position, they tend to give those guys a tougher resume. So I was stunned that he was first ballot because he didn't play that many years. So yes, when you talk about a wide receiver, it's different than talking about linebackers. There's a difference. There is a distinct difference. Point blank, period. And if you don't believe me, go look at the numbers. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. So going to futurefootballlegends.com, they put together this calculator that basically gives point values to each accomplishment. For example, Pro Bowl, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, what they're pretty, and this has been pretty solid as far as first ballot versus not first ballot. But they have a point system, right? And based on that point system, Luke Kuechly has 50 points. And that basically meets the threshold. If you have 50 points, you're pretty much a lock to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Patrick Willis was 47, and the difference was that Patrick Willis didn't have Defensive Player of the Year, right? So that's the difference. So we'll find out if that really is the limiting factor. But if you want to go to other guys like Julius Peppers, he has a number of 54. So Julius Peppers is going to be most likely a first ballot Hall of Famer. Guy like Brian Smith. I was gonna get there. Steve Smith. You don't want it. You don't. It's not good. It's an 18.
Really?
18, bro.
Because he was all pro in two different positions.
18, bro.
Do they take a factor into like this where he's ranked when he retired? He was top 10 in a lot of statistical categories in his position.
No, it doesn't account for that. I think it just accounts for.
But he wasn't going to like. But remember the reason why we got the interview with Philly Brown was because of the comment that I made, and it wasn't because I didn't think Steve Smith was first ballot. It was just the fact that I know how hard it is to do at that position. It's just hard. Did Marvin Harrison hit over 50 points?
Yeah, let me go back and see if I can find it. Find the list. Marvin Harrison had 53. Yeah, Super Bowls. I think Super Bowls count.
Yeah, Super Bowls give you points.
Yeah, Jerry Rice had a score of 104. Fan, that's kind of what we. Yeah, that's more than double. And Marvin Harrison was the second highest ranked on the list. And Jerry Rice had 104.
So what was Randy Moss? That's a good one. I'm curious about.
Randy Moss is 41. 41.
And he was first ballot.
Yep. T.O. was 40.
And he was not first ballot. And I saw y'all in the chat talking about was
Tyreek Hill already has a score of 39. Julio Jones 38. Larry Fitzgerald 33. But yeah, it looks like
Smitty. Bro.
Yeah, it looks like Smitty gonna have to wait for a little bit, bro. And to put it in perspective, there's only 1, 2.
But he's not first ballot.
Guys.
But we're past the first ballot point anyway.
Yeah, but bro, I'm talking. All right, so now I'm talking in general, just in general. Like it ain't got to be first ballot or nothing. It doesn't really matter for my next point. There's only 1, 2, 3 guys that have a score lower than Steve Smith, and that's Don Maynard, Fred Biletnikoff, and Bob Hayes. So you do the math on how far back those guys were. It's an uphill battle for my man Smitty, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dave.
He should get in though. I'll stand by that. He should get in.
I'm with you. I definitely think he should get in.
Now, all Panthers bias aside, right? Like when you start, because for me, it comes down to the numbers too. Like when you consider the offenses that Steve Smith played for and the numbers that he was pulling with those offenses, when you consider the accomplishments that he did have, I mean, there's only 3 other players in NFL history that's ever that's done the Triple Crown. Like when you put all those things into account, he should get in. I mean, we can have the argument about first ballot or not, fine, but he should be in. He retired. He retired with everybody above him in the receiving yards numbers are Hall of Famers except for one guy, and that one guy's not eligible yet, and that's Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
So he should be in.
Somebody asked about Torrey Holt. Torrey Holt is a score of 24. Andre Johnson has a score of 23. Hines Ward, 21. Wes Welker even has 21. Again, the Super Bowls matter. Tim Brown had a score of 21, so he's not too far off. I mean, guys like Tim was the first ballot, was he? I don't think Tim was first ballot. He should. I don't know about first ballot or not.
I could check.
That's not in what I'm looking at. But guys like even Chad Johnson has a score of 19, Dave, and Steve has 18. We got to be missed. There's got to be a Triple Crown category.
That's my point. He ain't getting no credit for the Triple Crown.
I don't think he got credit for the Triple Crown.
He's got playoff numbers too.
It's not account for that, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just telling you it accounts for. This is what it accounts for. It accounts for Pro Bowl selections. You get 1 point for Pro Bowl selection, 5 points for first team All Pro, 3 points for second team All Pro, 15 points for first team All Decade, 9 points for second team All Decade, 12 points per general All Decade selection, no first or second team designation, 9 points for MVP season, 8 points for Super Bowl MVP, 5 points for non-MVP Super Bowl winning QBs, 1 point for AFL, and this is all AFL stuff. So, yeah. But, I mean, it's pretty accurate for if you hit that 50-point threshold, bro, you damn near
first ballot.
You damn near first ballot.
So we know Luke's getting in first ballot, guys.
And then it says for most positions, a score in the mid-30s puts you firmly in the Hall of Fame discussions. But for wide receivers, it has been significantly less. So there is an asterisk when it comes to the wide receiver position. But I thought when I looked at this,
what was Calvin Johnson's numbers again? What was his number?
Calvin Johnson. Let me go to Calvin Johnson.
What was Megatron?
Let me look.
I don't even think I asked. I should have asked if I didn't already. I couldn't remember.
36.
That's pretty good considering how short a career he had. Yeah, it's pretty good. There. What's Cam's number? Somebody asked for Cam.
All right, let's look. Let's find Cam. Let me see if I can find.
But quarterbacks got to be all over the place, bro. Because
I'm gonna look.
Some of these quarterbacks they talking about.
We're gonna find out. Whew, man, damn, Tom Brady got the high. Obviously, has the highest score, 143. Peyton Manning 125. Joe Montana 91. Aaron Rodgers already has an 89 score. He's still active. Then it goes to Unitas, Favre. Mahomes has a 52 already. So he's first ballot.
He's already first ballot. That's already locked in for him.
Yeah, it is. Drew Brees is 38. He's eligible in 2026. You think
he's first ballot?
Think so?
He's gonna be first ballot. Yeah,
right.
It's quarterback. Now, if there's any position that's light when it comes to who's first ballot and not, it's quarterback. What's Eli Manning's score?
Eli Manning. Let me see. I got to search here.
He's got 2 Super Bowls. He's got points.
Eli Manning,
he's gonna be first ballot.
20.
So
20.
He's gonna be, and they're talking him going to be first ballot. He's probably getting in first ballot.
So his score is 20. Cam's score is 17, by the way.
Yes.
And Lamar Jackson already got a score of 16.
Well, he got the MVP. He got the MVP already. I mean,
Matt Ryan has scored 18. Cam has scored 17. Just put that in perspective. Steve McNair 15. Russell Wilson has scored 14. Jim Kelly is in. Warren Moon is in. They have scores of 13 and 12 respectively.
It's quarterback, bro. But Warren Moon had to wait. He had to wait a bit too. I think Jim Kelly was first ballot if I remember correctly. When you go to 4 straight Super Bowls, I guess that'll do it, even if you don't win any.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward here from a quarterback standpoint.
What's Marino's? Somebody asked for Dan Marino. And he's now. By the way, now he's
Dan
first ballot.
Marino had a score of 42.
The thing is, I think quarterback, there's so many other factors, man. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot. If there's any position that got politics, it's that position right there. Because there's already talking like Eli the first ballot. You know what I'm saying? They're already talking it. Like some are no brainers. Peyton's first ballot. Brady's first ballot. Like, but then when you get into, is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer? Is this guy's a Hall of Famer? Like, it becomes very difficult at that point. That score's going to be insequential for the quarterback position.
They got a list of snubs here. Patrick Willis is the highest snub on the list. Patrick got to get in. They're talking about Dwight Freeney's a snub. Yeah, and like Dave said, the wide receivers is a long list of wide receivers.
Telling you, bro.
Yeah, you just gotta wait. Wide receivers just gotta wait.
There needs to be like a wide receiver year where you like let like 7 of them in. Because the thing is, somebody like an Art Monk waited forever to get into the Hall of Fame. He won Super Bowls. When he retired, he had some of the records. Some of the records that Jerry Rice broke was Art Monk's records. And they made Art Monk wait. Why? Because he wasn't a media guy. Even though he had the numbers to be in there. They made that man wait. So it's politics into it too. But yeah.
See something.
And I don't think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. I do not think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. I know he's going to get in, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
So just looking up the next upcoming guys that are eligible. Let's see. Let's go back to 2024. So 2024, starting this year, Julius Peppers seems to be the only first ballot guy on this list based on the scoring. Antonio Gates is next behind him with 38 as far as guys that are eligible this year. So they would be first ballot candidates. So Julius Peppers, 54, Antonio Gates, 38, Eric Berry, 32. Then you got Haloti Ngata, 27, Jamal Charles, Brandon Marshall.
Nada's getting in.
Nada has scored
27. Nada could be first ballot. He might get the opportunity to become first. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, when you talk about based on the names you just gave me, obviously Peppers is going to headline the class. Let's not even argue that. All right, let's not even get into that discussion point. But after that, you could argue Nada being next in line. You can legitimately argue it. If you're going to have a second first ballot guy, it would be Nada. Absolutely would be Nada.
So in 2020, oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, you got it.
So in 2025, this is Luke's year. So Luke is the only guy that's at 50 points right now. So Luke, and then after him, you got Marshall Yanda, who's a guard. He has 45 points. Earl Thomas, 40 points. Adam Vinatieri, 33 points. Marshawn Lynch, 25. So that's, and even Dave, our very own Ryan Khalil, he'll be eligible in 2025 as well, 18 points. So
do you think Lynch is going to get in as a first ballot? He should, but do you think
first ballot? Nah. I think he waits a little bit.
I think he might get in, bro. I think they might get it. I think he. Marshawn Lynch's career is interesting, to say the least. But no, it'd be interesting to see. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares either way, personally. But you know.
And then 2026, you got Marquise Pouncey. He has 40 points. Drew Brees, 38.
First ballot.
I think Drew Brees he'll get in there.
First ballot.
Sean McCoy, Jason Witten, Gino. Oh, Larry Fitzgerald, bro. What you think about Larry? You think Larry?
I think we're gonna have three. I think we're gonna have three first ballot Hall of Famers in that class.
Yeah, that's 2026.
There will be three first ballot Hall of Famers in that class, sir.
Des Bryant also. Todd Gurley.
He ain't getting in. He's gonna have to wait.
Throwing a couple of names out there.
He gonna wait. No. They're gonna have three first ballot Hall of Famers in 2026. So if there's any opening for wide receivers to get in, they need to get in before Lance Fitzgerald's eligible. They need a Steve Smith need to sneak in here. A Torrey Holt needs to sneak in here. Yeah. This is where you got to get these wide receivers in before 2026. 2026, there's going to be three of them. There's three first ballot Hall of Famers based on what you just named. Breeze, name them just again. Breeze is the first ballot. Pouncey is the first ballot. And my memory is already trash. So.
Geno Atkins, Larry Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald's the first ballot. Those three are first ballots, off gate. No hesitation, no ifs, ands, buts about it. Pouncey, Breeze, Fitzgerald are all first ballots. No hesitation. Those are all first ballots. I know centers aren't sexy, but Pouncey was it, bruh. Des Bryant's gonna have to wait. Des ain't getting in for Steve Smith. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. He ain't getting in for Steve Smith. So if you guys think Des is a Hall of Famer, then he got to wait till Smith gets in. But interesting discussion.
Yeah, no, I think it is very interesting. So people are asking. Let's go through a couple more of our guys. So just for S and giggles, Sam Mills his score was 16, and
He
he
got
got
in.
in.
But he had to wait.
Kevin Green, yeah, he had to wait a long time. Kevin Green got in as well. He had 33 points. Um, let's see some other guys that could be coming up soon after that. We got Peppers Luke, Michael Bates. Actually, he was eligible a long time ago, but he has 28 points.
He had all them
Ryan
all pros when
Khalil,
he first got into the league.
right. Ryan Khalil, 18. Chris Jenkins was eligible in 2016. He has 17 points. Cam Newton isn't eligible until 2027, but has 17 points.
Did he officially
Um,
retire?
Cam, no. He has not. But if he doesn't, or if he does, he'll be eligible in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey has 9 points. Just throwing that out there. Wesley Walls has 14 points. Was eligible in 2009. Brian Burns has 2 points. We gotta get some guys up there, man. We need some more points from our
What
guys.
about Olsen?
Olsen, 9 points.
Same as McCaffrey.
Yeah. JJ Jansen.
What about the running
1
back?
point.
What about the running backs? What about DeAndre Williams and Jonathan Stewart?
Jonathan Stewart, 1 point. D'Angelo, 4 points. Yeah.
What about Thomas Davis?
Thomas Davis, 8 points. Jordan Gross, 8 points.
Wow, that's it?
That's it.
He got less than Khalil.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Ryan Khalil, not Matt. Let me be clear.
John Casey. Let me see what John Casey is. Is he even on here? He should be because I see Gano. Casey has 4 points. Sam Darnold, 0 points. Not on the list.
Y'all are so
petty. Yeah, after Peppers and Luke, it's gonna be Steve, obviously. It's gonna be a little.
What about Machine Muhammad? What about Machine Muhammad?
Masin has 7 points. Here, I can send y'all the list so y'all can look at it for y'all reference. Ever want to go back into it and look at it? I think it's an interesting discussion. It kind of puts some context around, who's first ballot, who's not. I think it gives you a guide. It's not the end all be all, obviously, because other factors in play. Especially if you talk about guys like T.O. I mean, they had different. There was some different things associated with his eligibility and whatnot.
Bruh.
So
what was his points? What's T.O.'s points again? Remind me.
T.O. Let me go back.
Yeah.
T.O. had 40.
He was the first ballot.
Bro, he was first ballot, man. He was first ballot. He should have been first ballot. And y'all know why he didn't get it. But
we all know why he didn't get it. But it goes back to my politics point. We know why some of these guys don't get it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is that stuff is not accounted for, right? That kind of stuff is not accounted for.
Nope.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. All right, Dave. With that said, man, anything else? That was the last thing on my list.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, considering that I didn't go to bed until 6 a.m. this morning. Y'all got a lot out of me today.
Pause.
Let y'all know that. Pause. Indeed.
That's because you standing up. You should stand up more often.
That's exactly the reason. This is exactly why I'm standing up. I did because I know for a fact if I am sitting down, when I make this show, I fell asleep on my chair I fell asleep on the chair at 6 a.m. this morning. I've been unpacking like crazy, trying to get this stuff done.
Yeah. Hey, so real quick, training camp is next week. Dave and I are gonna be out there. Be on the lookout for me, man. I'm gonna be doing some interviews. Not interviews for players, but interviews for the people. I'm doing some content, some street interview content. So y'all stay tuned for that. Catch Dave and I out there again next Saturday. It's gonna be PNP and Friends, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all check us out. I gotta
Yeah.
release some more tickets. I'll probably do that sometime this weekend.
Yeah. I'll like for those who don't know, I'll be out there for the first 5 days of training camp. So I'll be in Spartanburg. I'm flying out Tuesday, and next Tuesday. So I'll be out. I'll be out in these streets, man. Like I'll be in Spartanburg. I'll be in the Spartanburg area for the first couple through P and Friends that Saturday, and then I'm gonna drive back and forth for the following week till I fly back home on the second. I'm not gonna be at FanFest. Y'all can have fun with FanFest.
Yeah, I'll be out there. Real quick, somebody asked earlier about the Browns unis, the white ones. I thought them joints was cold. To be honest with you, I like them shits. I liked it. That was fire.
That's how off the grid I've been the past.
Go on Twitter and
yeah, I'll check it out.
Look up Cleveland Browns. They're pretty nice. White helmet, white uniform. It's pretty fire.
That's what's up.
Pretty fire. All right, that being said, man, we're gonna shut this thing down, man. Make sure y'all stay on the prowl, right? Be positive, all that good stuff, man. Stay on the prowl, like, subscribe, notification bell. Yeah, we're gonna see y'all next week. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good stuff. Lots of content gonna be coming from training camp. Stay tuned, hit the subscribe button. That said, man, we up out of here. Peace.
Peace, guys.